Hello and welcome to the CCL Week 3 Day 2. I'm Rome DMV and joining me today is Cruisin'. How you doing today, man?
Hi, I'm good, man. We got a fantastic day of action on the Bravo channel today. Great first matchup coming up as well.
Oh yeah, big time. We got Rowan Esports going up against the Cornell Big Red, and this one, it's going to be interesting for both of these squads. There's a lot on the line, especially with this match and where we are in the season.
Yeah, very, very interesting. I mean, they're both coming out of the Northeast Division D. It's a very strong division in terms of teams that you have inside this division right now. You've got Rutgers, obviously, who's at 4-0, but then you've got Rowan, who's sitting at 3-1, Farmingdale at 3-1, Stockton at 3-1. Just a very big division that's still very open in terms of who our top three are going to be. So this match could have a lot of implications towards where that ends up finishing out, especially if Cornell can come out and pull off the big upset here today.
Oh, for sure. And let's go ahead and show you guys why this might be an upset for the side of Cornell. Let's go ahead and take a look at these two squads when they match up head-to-head. Rowan versus Cornell, man. This one is going to be a good one if you look at it. This squad and Rowan, they're coming in hot, 3-1 on the season, starting off extremely well, especially, considering that they're an all-new squad.
Yeah, I mean, and the fact that their only loss so far has come to Rutgers. It was a 3-0, but it was in week one. They really didn't have a ton of time to get a lot of chemistry going yet. So the fact that they are still able to be 3-1 and they played that match fairly close against Rutgers, you got to think that if they were to face off against them down the line, it would be a lot closer.
Yeah, and if you look at the hardpoint win-loss ratio, the side of Cornell, they're struggling right now, sitting at 3-8. But, when you go down to that search and destroy where they're 3-3, things are a little bit more fortuitous for them. So, as you guys can see at the bottom, control, 0-0 for both of them. We get to see who's going to be able to be a good control team this year because, hey, honestly, it's anyone's game.
Yeah, it's great to have control back inside. And like you said, Cornell, with that hard point not being the greatest, they need to look for that control. They need control to be a very strong suit for this team going forward if they want to be able to start picking up some of these match series wins. Because, at this point of the season, only 3 teams make top cut. They finished top 6 last year. It's not going to be good enough to finish top 6 within your top cut of your division this year. You need top 3. And if they want to be able to get to that top 3 with already having 3 losses, you got to think they need to start to turn this season around now.
For sure. Now let's go ahead and check out the home roster with Rowan Esports. This squad is coming in with Jester, Soapy, Sosa, and Mikey Buff. It is a whole new squad. They did not have a team in the CCL last year, but coming in this year, they are ready to make some waves, already starting out hot 3-1 in their division.
Yeah, very, very solid squad coming in. You've got Jester, who's been running the main AR. Sosa, who's been very, very good as well on that AR role. And Jester's running the flex role. But then you've got your 2 subs in Mikey and Soap. And, this team altogether has just been a very well-rounded squad. They haven't gotten the most diverse victories yet this season. But the fact that this squad has just looked so good together, it gives you a lot of confidence going forward throughout the rest of the season.
For sure, man. A lot of high hopes for this Rowan Esports squad. Now, if we go ahead and take a look at the away team, the visiting team, we're going to be checking out Cornell Big Red. They're going to be coming in today with Payne, Thor, Lonely, and Val. And go ahead and give me a little bit of history on this squad right here.
Yeah, so Thor and Lonely, they're going to be your only 2 players returning from last year's Cornell team, who honestly, it wasn't the greatest team last year, wasn't the worst team inside the CCL. But then you've got Val and Payne, who are the new kids on the block. Payne was on the roster last year, did not start in any of the matches, so promoted up to the starting roster this year. And then you've got Val, who's actually playing all the way from India for his match. And
Woo.
it's been a very, very tough time for him so far. You can't imagine the ping has been very easy to play on from that coast, playing all the way over towards our East Coast. But he's moving next week. You got to think it's only going to get better from that point on.
Oh, yeah, man. I would definitely hope so. Coming back with this one, both of these squads right here, they're definitely, I wouldn't say evenly matched, but when you're looking at this pool, this one could bring them a lot closer in those standings. So if you are the side of Cornell, you really want to win this matchup to let this squad know that, listen, you're not a team to be messed around with. You're not going to be that pushover 1-3 squad. You're going to be able to turn it around and try to get in that top 3 if it's possible, which, at this point, it's looking shaky already, but this is a must-win scenario for the side of Cornell.
Yeah, and honestly, I really agree with that. And it's kind of the tale of 2 different stories when you look at these 2 teams. You have one at 1-3, the other one at 3-1. But I actually really agree with that statement in saying that these are 2 honestly pretty even teams when you look at it as an overall. I mean, when you look at Rowan, their wins have been wins, but they haven't been to the cleanest fashion. And same with Cornell, their losses have been losses, but they've been pretty close losses. Like their losses to the point where you make one different rotation on a hill and hardpoint, you probably win that hardpoint. You could probably go on to end up taking the rest of that series. So it's those small little mistakes that Cornell's really working on right now, just trying to fix and iron out. And if they get them ironed out, you never know, they might just be able to take it to a team like Rowan here today.
Hey, listen, well, hey, we've seen upsets aplenty already in the CCL, so I'm not going to be putting anything past this squad for sure. I mean, hey, when we're looking at the maps, we're going to be starting things off with Hardpoint Tuscan. So anytime you're going to be starting off with Hardpoint Tuscan, this is probably, one of the most practiced maps and modes in competitive Call of Duty right now. It's one that all the players seem to enjoy, and hey, I can't wait to see how they're going to be able to play this one right here.
Yeah, and Tuscan is a great map to start a lot of series off with because it's such a systematic hardpoint map. You really get a great idea for how both these teams are going to come out and play. When you look at just how they can rotate from hills 1 to 2 to 3, because 2 and 3 being on opposite sides of the map, it really gives you a good idea of how teams like to play hardpoint. If teams are hitting for scrap time with only 20 seconds left, as opposed to just pushing across the map, trying to get a full setup for the new hill, and instead of playing for old scrap time, that really just kind of shows you like, hey, this team, they know what they're doing. They know that they want to set up, try to get those big 60s on the hills that really can allow to those full 60 holds. And if you can get those done, I mean, that's how you can really end up winning a lot of these hardpoint games. And that's what we're really looking for today, is just who's going to come out, who's going to be that systematic team that's going to be able to win. And Tuscan's a great place to start us off.
Yeah, exactly. I think this is going to be a good, a good chance for this Cornell squad to really, really turn their season around right now with this hardpoint, because I mean, they're sitting at 3-8 in the hardpoint. So I mean, that obviously is not going to bode well for them coming into this one. So let's go ahead and take a look at the full map set of this best of 5 series. We're going to be starting things off with that hard point on Tuscan. Then we're going to be heading to Berlin, Search and Destroy. Then we're going to be going to Control on Tuscan. Very interesting that is the map choice for Control. And then if necessary, we will be going to Bocage Hardpoint, followed by Tuscan Search and Destroy to kick things off in to end things off in map number 5.
And no surprise coming through here, seeing Bocage coming through for map number 4. I mean, that's been a map that has been very strong for Rowan. Not surprised at all to see that coming through as their map pick. I mean, it's the only map that they were really close in when they took on Rutgers earlier on in the season. And besides that, they're 3-0 on that map besides the one loss. And I mean, it's been a very, very strong mode for them throughout the season so far here. And when you look at that Control, like you said, Tuscan, it's a very interesting one. When you've got the two maps really that we have right now, and just Tuscan and Gavutu, I think a lot of teams would rather play Tuscan. It's a little bit more forgiving, but either way, offenses are going to be just so hard to win throughout any Call of Duty competition throughout the season so far.
For sure. And hey, we're going to be able to see that Tuscan Control no matter what. It is that wonderful game 3, the turn map, the momentum map, if you will. That is where a series can turn on its head. We've seen it time and time again. And man, I'm loving this map set already. The fact we get to go to Tuscan 3 different times, we get to see it in all 3 modes. I mean, that just really shows this map is definitely a staple for this game of Vanguard.
Yeah, I mean, and it's like a couple of those maps from years past. Like last year, you had Raid for all 3 modes. You were using it for all 3. You saw it so many times throughout different series. But what kind of worries me about Tuscan being so favored is it feels like as the seasons go along, longer and longer, those maps that are so favored and comfortable at the early part of the season, that's the maps that start to get vetoed out later on in the season. So enjoy it while you can, because I have a feeling that once teams start to learn and figure out how Tuscan's played, you're going to start to see less and less teams wanting to play this map.
Oh, yeah, precisely. Once everyone learns every single little spot that there is to know, every little detail about the rotation, spawns, whatever it may be, some teams are just not going to be learning it as quickly as others, and they're just going to go ahead and ban it out and say, you know what, see us on something else, point blank, period. As we're going to be hopping on early with Thor and the side of Cornell as they're going to be trying to lock down this P1.
And I mean, a great opening breakoff though from Rowan. Like Thor, he gets that first blood, but for his team, but everybody else right around him drops and leaves him all by himself. He drops as well. And I think the big thing here is not only do Rowan get a good breakoff off the Rifter, but they still hold on to those spawns on the right-hand side of the map for those P2, for that P2 hill that's coming up next. And if they can hold on to these spawns and get a clean rotation over towards that hill, this score line could really get opened up big off the start here.
Yeah, and if you look at the kill feed, it's only been 3 deaths on the side of Rowan. Make that 5 now as they go down from the double kill. But hey, this squad and Rowan already starting off very nicely, and now Sosa, he's got the early rotations as well, already setting up at this P2. And the only player that's going to be contesting him right now is going to be Payne. Looks like he is going to need to take out Lonely as well. That's going to be all of them dropping on the side of Cornell. Rowan Esports have got the rotations. Even though they didn't get the scrap time, they are set up very perfectly to be able to get a ton of time here on P2.
Sosa on 5 in a row. That's going to be streaks for him, streaks for Mikey as well. So I don't think you could have asked for a better start here. Yeah, they didn't get the scrap time like you alluded to, but I mean, you get a ton of time off the rip, and then you also get this full setup over towards this new hill, and nobody can even get close from Cornell right now. This is a perfect setup. One player is actually going to spawn up in the back. It's going to be Val, but it's the perfect time for a spawn flip to come in, because now Rowan can flip these spawns and they can put their full focus on the new hill.
Precisely, as Jester right now able to pick up the big 2-piece right now. 40 points is the advantage, and you can see already Mikey, he's already going to be the lone player in the back. The question is Lonely going to be able to take him out? But I don't think he's going to get the chance, as Sosa did call him out. He's looking for him. Lonely is able to get the better of him, though, and that could be massive, as Jester, oh, unfortunate, with the glide bomb is going to be taking out Soapy, and that could be massive. It looks like the only player is going to be Mikey Buff. He's got to go huge for his squad, and that's exactly what he does. Picking up the 2-piece, able to break everyone's... Oh, my goodness. Rowan had the setup perfect to break that hill. What a play coming in from them.
Yeah, not only do you have Mikey hitting from the front, but you also had Jester play in towards the rooftops in the bottom side of the map, and what that does is it also wins them the spawns. So as everybody on Cornell comes off spawn, they all spawn out, and now it's just a perfect setup here once again for Rowan. This scrap time, honestly, with how far away you got Cornell hitting this, Cornell realistically has one shot at trying to hit this hill, and then they need to chalk it and go towards the next hill.
Yeah, now Jester fully streaked out as well as Mikey. Looks
crazy.
Like, yeah, it looks like both of them right now are going to be feeling extremely good right now as Mikey's on that 3 streak. He's going to be building up that time. This one, it looks like Rowan, they are really running away with this one early and often. That entire kill feed has been yellow more often than not, ladies and gentlemen. As you can see, Mikey, he's going to be calling in this glide bomb, picking up another kill onto Val, and hey, man, they might be 100-point clubbing them right here.
I mean, and the crazy spot about this, too, is you left one person in the old hill, and they sat in that hill, won the scrap time there. You sent your other 3 players across the map, and they turned old time into initial at this new hill. You still do have the spawns in favor right now for Cornell, but with all the streaks on the side of Rowan and how open some of the hills are on this map, I mean, with this big lead that you have of over 100 points right now, it is going to be a very, very tough hill to climb if Cornell wants to start to make their way back into this one.
Ooh, and Val, I mean, we talked about him, you know, playing from India, and I mean, it's showing on the kill feed. I mean, 0-15 right now. I mean, we are, you know, on P4, hasn't gotten 1 kill yet to his name. I mean, we're just going to need to see him pick it up and try to help his squad out a little bit more. But Payne, I mean, really no excuses for you. You're sitting here in the States 4-17. You got to pick it up as well. And if that's not going to be the case, it's going to be Rowan that are going to be running away with this one, as everyone on their squad is at least double positive.
Yeah, I mean, Rowan, not only is everybody at least double positive, but you've got 3 sets of streaks on the Rowan players. Jester might be able to pick up another glide bomb here if he finds his 5th in a row once again. There's too many people going on streaks right now. We can't even catch it all for the side of them. And, oh, man, and you hate to see it. Val falls to a team nade there as well. Just tough spot right now for Cornell. It's hard to get things going once you get beat that bad off the start. That's a huge nade coming through from Payne, though, off the rip. But, like, what can you really do here? You'll pick up the scrap time, but as soon as you get the scrap time and you rotate over towards Hill 1 once again for the new set of rotations, you're going to have to deal with so many sets of streaks on this P1 hill.
Yeah, and if you look at the mini-map, the closest player to new is going to be Lonely, and he's running the wrong way, man. Yeah, everyone right now for this squad of Rowan, they're not worried about old. They are straight up setting up for new, and it is going to be a while before anyone from Cornell is going to be contesting this one, but there is going to be a sneaky beaver in Thor that is going to be making his way around. He's trying to get behind the enemy lines. He is going to be able to pick up 1. This might be the break that they needed coming in from him as he picks up 2. Looking for the 3rd. Not going to be able to get him as Jester takes him out before getting traded out by Val. But the squad in Rowan coming in, cleaning it up. Sosa with the 2-piece with the pistol before he gets taken out. Man, this squad in Rowan, they are just cleaning up whatever mistakes that they end up making. It's exactly what you want to see.
Yeah, and you know what? You expect to see this from Thor. You expect to see him going 16-16, if not better. He's been the main slayer for this Cornell team for most of this season throughout so far. The only issue right now is he just doesn't have anybody stepping up to the plate with him right now. He's the only one sitting around even. You got Val at 1-23, like we were alluding to before. Payne 7-22, Lonely Doc 9-14. Everybody's sitting negative except for Thor. Actually, Thor's even sitting negative now as well. It's not a great situation for them to be in. They need to start to find a way to get some better slaying, but the simple fact of the matter is they're not winning these rotations. So when you're not winning rotations, you're not setting up, and having to break a hill is so much harder than it is to just sit on a head glitch and hold that hill.
Precisely. And I mean, right now, pretty much at a quarter of a century mark, 1-25 coming in for Val right now. I mean, honestly, Rowan, they're just going to keep on farming this squad essentially because I mean, they're just winning every single engagement. It seems like that they need to. They're coming out of these trades in 3v2 fashion, 2v1 fashion, almost every single time in their favor as 4 go down yet again on the side of Cornell Big Red. And man, I mean, Thor is doing everything he can. 19-18 in this situation. I mean, props to him for being able to drop these kinds of numbers because I mean, it's just extremely unfortunate. I mean, we might be seeing a record here. I'm going to be honest. This might be one of the biggest kill death ratio deficits we've ever seen. I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah, it definitely could end up being that way towards the end of this one. But Rowan Esports, I like what we saw towards the end of that hill there. They realized there was 15 seconds left. They said, hey, you know what? Let's just move across the map. We've got the winner's advantage right now. Let's get this full setup at Fountain that we want. We can win it here on this hill, and it's exactly what they're trying to do. Only 20 seconds left needed here for them to be able to win this. One final hit coming in from Cornell.
Yeah, it looks like that is going to be the case as Mikey, he is popping off in the kill feed, 23-9 coming in for him. Finally going to be meeting his maker, but Sosa, he's going to be on a 6 spree, make it 7 as he's going to be locking this one down. Man, calling in the streaks as well. Why not? Add an insult to injury. Picking up a 2-piece. He's on a 9 streak. Ladies and gentlemen, you don't get to see this too often in the CCL, but every time we do, it sure is special as they only got a few more points remaining. Oh, and he is going to get taken out finally at the hands of Thor.
Yeah, but it's just not enough. I mean, when you look at the next hill, it's going to pop. There's going to be 7 seconds left here. Rowan Esports, they should very easily be able to put this one away.
The final seconds are going to be coming in. This might be the last nail in the coffin. It's not going to be able to connect, though. And now Mikey's sitting at 24-11. Going to go ahead and call that one in right on his head. Why not? You already secured the victory. 250-105. They didn't put him in the 100-point club, but hey, it was close enough. Either way, a decisive victory coming in for Rowan.
And I mean, when you look overall at this whole victory here for Rowan, and you're looking at these score lines, you're looking at the untraded kills even alone. Woo. I mean, what can you do more from the side of Rowan? Every single player, over 20 untraded kills, unbelievable game coming out of them. Thor really put the team on his back for the likes of Cornell. He played the absolute best that he could, went 26-21 in a 250-105 loss. Absolutely played as well as he could, but his 18 non-traded kills, they just weren't enough. He needs somebody to step up, and that's something that we were talking about and alluding to coming into this one. That Lonely Doc and Payne, they need to be those two players right now that step up for this Cornell team if they want to be able to take maps off of Rowan Esports, because right now with the slaying differential, it does not look like that's going to be possible, Rome.
Yeah, right now this one is looking like disaster right now for this Cornell squad. Not exactly sure what's going on with Val. I understand that he is, playing from, a faraway land, but hey, at the end of the day, 221 damage and in hard point, that is just not going to be cutting it for sure. So we're going to need to see him pick it up. Maybe they'll be able to right here in this search and destroy, though, as we are going to be heading on to Berlin for this one. And I mean, honestly, if you're Cornell, you got to hang your hat on this search and destroy. This is a must-win map because the respawns at this point are just not looking like they're going to go your way whatsoever, as you said.
Yeah, and with Val having those connection issues and being so far away, I think this could honestly, S&D, at least is the one mode where maybe you get one player, you get that first blood for your side of Cornell. Val doesn't really even come into the equation because at least then at that point you have a even 3 versus 3 if he is having that serious of issues connecting to these matches, right? So, I mean, if he's able to do it, all good for him. It'll work out well. It's such a tough spot to be in. I really, really hope that when Val comes over to the States and he starts playing here, I really, really hope that he just comes and fries, because that would be an unreal story.
Oh yeah, big time. He's got to do it and do it quick, man. There's not too much time left in the season, man. You got to make every single match, every single week count, especially this one right here, man. This one could be big because, hey, only you want to be in that top 3, and I mean, letting this squad and Rowan maybe secure one of those 3 spots right here with this win, that's not going to be what you want for Cornell. So, hey, right here, they got to pretty much put their whole season on the line with this search and destroy right now. I don't want to say it like that, but at this point, you got to be winning your matchups when you're 1 and 3 in the division. And right now, you know, with these respawns not looking so pretty, you got to win this search and destroy right here, right now.
Yeah, it really does feel like that, doesn't it? Like, it feels like this Berlin is like almost make or break for them. But the hard part is even if they win this Berlin, they're going to have to take a control or a hard point if they want to take the series in general. And I mean, the control, you got to imagine that's just going to be just as tough as that hard point was. You're going to be going back to Tuscan again. You're going to have to deal with the exact same kind of setups and issues that you dealt with in that map. And I think the big thing, another big reason why we saw Rowan being able to slay so strong is just they were constantly putting themselves in the right position to be able to win rotations. Like, there was 20 seconds left on the hill. They said, hey, you know what? Have your scrap time. I think that's how Cornell got most of their time, to be honest, was from scrap time, because Rowan was like, screw it, we'll just go get the front 40 at the next hill. We don't care about the old time. You go ahead. We'll trade 40 for 20 every single time, and we'll just run away with this score. It's exactly what they did.
Yeah, those rotations were absolutely perfect every single time. It seemed like we never really said that Cornell had the rotations for next. It seemed like we were only saying that that was coming in from Rowan. And, I mean, now going into the search and destroy, do you think that some of that coordination coming in from Rowan is going to be able to carry over into this search on Berlin?
Yeah, I mean, you would have to imagine so. I mean, this team, they seem very, very well practiced. It looks like Search is their worst mode right now at a 3-2 record, but I think against a team like Cornell, who has also kind of been struggling throughout the season, they're 3-3 in S&D, so not much better, not much worse. But the big issue is, though, is if you could really just find a way to play off your teammates' backs, especially on a map like Berlin where you're not going to have smokes anymore to be able to cover your crosses, if you can at least have a player sitting in the back watching that long Doc's cross, I mean, like, it should be pretty easy to get players over there, get that bomb down. As long as you're winning your ones in this match and you're playing off each other's backs, I don't see a reason why Rowan shouldn't be able to take this map off of Cornell.
Oh, yeah, it's going to be a good one, man. I cannot wait for it. We're just waiting on these players. It seems like we are going to be getting right into the match right now as all these players are ready. They've drank their water. They've drank whatever energy they need to, because, hey, if you're the side of Cornell right now, you need to get every single bit of motivation that you can to win this one. You're going to need it.
Yeah, you absolutely need every little bit that you can get. It's going to be a tough one. It is going to be a very, very tough one coming to this one. I'm excited to see what we see out of these two teams, what sites they like to hit on this, because I honestly don't have too much information on what they like to do in terms of Berlin S&D. We know the A site inside the offices is a very popular site, but also a lot of teams more so lately have been alluding going towards that B site, going towards those outer docks. We'll see what we get right off the rip here, but it looks like Cornell, we're heading over towards this A site right off the rip. This seems to be the general first round hit, but actually if they're going to throw a fake, they're going to throw a few stuns and nades, kind of bait them out, and now they're going to wrap this bomb over to B, but little do they know there's still a player lurking in Shane over here.
Yeah, and Sosa's going to be going big, picking up the first blood onto Thor, and now it's going to be Val. He's going to be dodging around, trying to come in from the side. Will he be able to get the angle onto him? Yes, he will, and Val already getting just as many kills as he did the entire last map, and a big one at that. Now, this squad, they're going to be rotating back around toward A. I like this. Keep on rotating. Keep on putting Rowan on their toes. And now it is going to be one player. Is going to be Mikey down low. He's got 3 players above him. Now, is he going to be able to get up here in time to stop the plant? No. Bomb going to be going down. Now it's going to be all up to Mikey. He is able to drop one. He gets 2. Looking for the final one in Payne. Payne's going to be in the corner, but he gets taken out swiftly. And that is going to be a bomb defuse coming in from Rowan Esports.
Yeah, it was looking like they had a decent setup going for the likes of Cornell. Once they got that bomb down, everything was looking great. They were in a 3 versus 3. But Mikey finds 2 kills off of coming in towards the site. And I mean, once you get those 2 and you're in a 3 versus 1, Payne is in just such a bad spot here. Soapy can lay down fire from the front. Jester hits it from the back. It's just an easy pinch at that point through. They had the perfect retake, but it all starts with those 2 from that 2-piece coming in from Mikey right off the rip of that round. Now we look to Rowan. How are they going to respond here on offense? We saw an offensive hit coming from Cornell off the rip. They got that bomb down. It was not enough. They were trying to play some head games. I did like the way they were going with their offense. And now Rowan on their offense. It looks very similar to what we just saw. Heading over towards this A site, Jester will be that bomb carrier. First man in as well. He's just going to bust through the doors and try to get this bomb down as quickly as possible.
Yeah, there's going to be no faking about this one. Jester, he's going to be able to plant it, but is he going to get seen? It looks like he's going to opt to keep on planting it as a trade did come through. So a 3v3 situation, and it seems like Rowan are fine with this, as now it is going to be the retake coming in from the Cornell Big Red. As you can see, the player Soapy is at a very advantageous place, and Thor, Sneaky Beaver, has two players that are going to be around him. Is he going to be able to get one before getting taken out? He gets called out. He spots a player at the tank, going to be coming around. I'm not sure if he's seen him. No, Jester taking out Thor. That was massive, and now it's going to be Payne left in a 1v2. He gets taken out. Rowan Esports take a commanding 2-0 advantage.
That's kind of crazy. In the middle of that round, everybody that's on the site from Rowan just wraps off the site. They did not even think that there was a possibility of that bomb getting defused. I don't think I've seen a single bomb check come through that entire round there. They had their eyes on where every single person was. They even sniffed out the flank coming through from Thor. And unfortunately for him in that 1v2 on that side of the map, it was just not a situation you were ever really going to win once you got tagged up to one shot. It's a very, very tough spot for him to be in. But, I mean, Cornell, man, you guys got to answer back with something here. And apparently the answer is we're just going to leave the bomb at site, not even try to play the objective here. One player's going to wrap back, grab the bomb now. We're going to head over back towards the middle of the map. And I mean, I don't really know what they're trying to do here. It looks like maybe just try to get some map control, move this bomb over towards this B site. But
Val,
right now, just a very slow round. But Val finds that first blood.
Yeah, coming through the middle, able to find the seam in the defense, the one blind spot that was there. He guessed right. Sometimes you got to take those 50-50s, especially when you know you might not be winning the gunfights, but you know you can be able to shoot people in the back for free. And as you can see, Soapy with the sniper in hand, he's spotting Val. He's going to try to take him out, but
he's just teasing us.
Val is going to be moving around. Exactly, man. You love the tease. Bomb going to be going down at B, though, as they're going to be in a 2v3 situation.
Yeah, and I mean, they're not in a terrible spot to be able to watch this because you can get player number 4 back inside this building in the back of the site where he can watch over this bomb, but it's going to be a tough retake. Although Soapy does have a sniper, it makes that retake just that little bit much harder as well.
Precisely. Now Soapy is going to be able to come in. He gets the trade onto Lonely, and now the lone player is going to be Payne in the back of the map. He has a nice spot right now, but he needs to stay alive, and that's not going to be happening as Mikey. They're going to be coming in, clearing him out. I mean, hey, if you're Payne right there, you got to know that they're going to be sniffing you out, hunting you out. You got to be ready for that. I understand he was looking at the bomb, but at the end of the day, there's going to be a couple of players on Ronan that are extremely hungry and looking to rip your head off.
Yeah, and there's a much better bomb watching spot to watch that bomb from as well than where he chose to watch it. He chose to sit inside storage on top of the train, try to get the bomb watched from there. But if you went inside of the warehouse in the back right-hand spawn pretty much, if you sat there in this building right to the right of these players, there's a window in that building that you can watch that B-bomb site from. He chooses to watch it from the train instead, doesn't end up getting the job done. It's a rough spot to be in, isn't able to finish it off, and now Rowan, I mean, they just look so in control of this map right now with the way that they're able to take control of some of these hills and take control of some of these sites just off the rip. And I mean, Soapy's going to get naded all the way down to 31, but he gets to be able to push all the way back, and he's actually going to go watch this bomb from that back warehouse as Mikey's trying to push up and get this bomb down, and this looks like it could be a perfect setup here from Rowan.
Yeah, Soapy's got the sniper in hand. He's going to be at the back. Ding, love that part. Takes out Lonely, but Thor is going to be able to get the trade as Thor did get into the back line. Now it's going to be a big 1v1, and it looks like Mikey's going to get the better of him. This squad and Rowan are clean. Let me say that, as Payne is going to be the last player remaining, and this is not a 1v3 that you'll be clutching up anytime soon. Well, I say that now. It's a 1v2. Okay, so we've seen 1v2s before, but I mean, hey, with 20 seconds left, you got to defuse this one. It's pretty much chalked.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough spot to be in. Any 1vx situation is always hard. But yeah, and it doesn't even look like he's going to try to go for it here at this point. Maybe try to hop on the defuse. He can't even get in the window, unfortunately. You got to love Vanguard windows, as Payne is on the struggle bus right now.
Yeah, that struggle bus is definitely chugging along for sure for this squad.
So unfortunate.
That is the definition of how this series has went so far for Cornell, honestly. I mean, if you're the side of Cornell, you just got to keep your head up, keep your chin up. You know that meme of the two, or that gif of the two UCLA players where the one guy has his head down and he lifts it up and says, "Come on, bro, we got this." You got to pull one of those with your teammates right now and say, "Listen, guys, it's not over until it's over. We are still playing. We're still got rounds in our back pocket. Let's start to get this momentum right here, right now, and turn this series around."
Yeah, they got to take this one round at a time. It looks like this round, it's going to be a hit right over towards this A side. Only 2 players here for Rowan at the moment, and Thor's trying to make his line through the back. So if he can find these 2 players, but he gets spotted out, so it's not going to work out in their favor.
As Mikey and Rowan, they are going to be getting the first pick yet again. Jester gets a second. Is Thor going to be the hero that we all needed? As he's going to be coming to the back, picking up the third of the round. Last one that's going to be alive is going to be Sosa for Rowan. If they want this to be a perfect 6-0 sweep, we're going to need some heroics coming out of Sosa for sure, as he is going to be looking for these players, but they are not going to be anywhere near his line of sight. They're going to be setting up at this B-bomb site, planting it for this back train, and hey, at the end of the day right now, we got to see exactly how Sosa is going to be able to do this, but he's clearing this out the correct way as he needs to win this 1v1 exactly against Lonely first. He spots Thor. Now he could assume that there is going to be another player near, but Thor with the gunny able to take him out, and Cornell Big Red starting to turn things around.
Oh, man, all I can say is thank God Thor was up there in that round, because I don't know if I would have trusted anybody else on this Cornell team to take that gunfight and take that win there, because, I mean, if they had 2 other players set up like that, those were 2 very individual gunfights just like that, like where that one was about to be. That's how you lose 1 versus 2s, ladies and gentlemen. You cannot be setting up and just playing so separate from your teammates. If they played together that round, I would have felt so much more confident about them closing that one out. But with how this lane has gone and how individual one-on-ones has gone, you can't blame me for not being too confident there in that one. But actually, Cornell getting super aggressive here on the A site. Thor will pop 2 right off the rip here. And this is going to completely stagger that Rowan push towards A.
Yeah, and now Thor has streaks as well. He's got that glide bomb in his back pocket. This might be the exact momentum that Cornell needed, as Rowan, they went in to, to push this A site, and they got met with extreme aggression in there. Cornell was essentially saying, listen, RA is not going to be your A today. It's that simple. You're not going to be coming in here whatsoever. Sosa needing to win this 1v1. He is able to do that, but now he's left in a 1v3 situation. As Soapy does get taken out, but what's he going to be able to do? He's going to be faking, coming through the door now on the backside, and that is going to be where he meets his maker, Cornell Big Red, with a solid defensive round.
Well, Thor absolutely putting the team on his back right now. Let's be honest here. I mean, he won that last round, finds 3 kills here in this round for his team as well, and gets those full streaks like you alluded to earlier on in the round. I mean, I just don't know how much you can really get out of streaks on this map, though. Maybe open up the B site with the streaks, just kind of glide the bomb over and above and open it up to allow one of your players to be able to get on. And I feel like it's going to be very, very hard to be able to find kills with it. But Thor, with those streaks, the bomb heading over towards this B site with the rest of the team, looks like they're going to throw just a couple of nades, trying to find any little bit of information they can. But I'd be very surprised if we don't see him call these streaks. And it's exactly what we see. Glide bomb comes in, gets a ton of information on this player inside the B site.
Oh,
and he
my
gets his
God.
teammate. Oh,
Why
no.
would Val go? Okay, the thing is, if you call out that you have the glide bomb, you just need to call it in and wait for the glide bomb player to kill the player guarding B, and then you push the site. But Val decided to do it at the same time, and I think that's just a miscommunication coming in from the side of Cornell, and that is going to be spelling misery for them and disaster, because Rowan are going to be cleaning them up off of that mistake.
I do agree. I think what the play call there was to hover the glide bomb to try to open the site up so Val could get into the site, is what I think the call was. I think that was just a missed streak usage there from Thor. I think he was getting a little hungry trying to find that kill. He had already pushed the player off of the site and forced him inside. So Val knew exactly where the player was, but I think he tried to drop it on top of the hut and it just ended up killing Val. It's such an unfortunate situation, but you're not wrong at all. You really do need to make better plays of streaks, a little bit better communication in that situation there for them. And now Rowan, it looks like we're going to see a hit back over towards this A site once again here. They were very dominant when they were able to get this bomb down in the earlier rounds on this site, and it looks like it's exactly what they want to get done here once again.
I have a very bold statement. Is Vanguard the Call of Duty with the hardest streaks to use effectively?
Honestly, I think so. I honestly think so, especially right now with the fact that Fortified stops you from being able to get a 1 kill with your glide bomb, like with a 1 hit. I mean, like, what other streaks do we really have? The fighter pilot comes in, and it is just not a great streak either. Like, sometimes we'll find some, sometimes we'll find some of your own.
Yeah.
It is a definitely not a great spot to be in.
All right, and we are in a 2v1 situation now as Rowan Esports, Soapy, and Sosa turn around the 3v2 advantage into their favor yet again. And this might be the final nail in the coffin for this Cornell squad. Might be on the brink of going down 0-2 in the series right now as Lonely Doc. He's going to be able to do this by himself, but that's not going to be the case as Rowan Esports are going to be closing this one out.
Yeah, they absolutely do close it out here. And I mean, yeah, this game is just it's looking like Rowan Esports are starting to run away with this one a little bit. That first hard point was good, but you started to see some life in the Cornell players on the backs of on the backs of Thor, but it just was not enough. Thor can't do it all by himself. The rest of his teammates once again going negative. You got to feel for the guy at some point here, eh, Rome?
I mean, yeah, I feel for the guy, but at the end of the day, this is the CCL, man. This is the big dog league, man. This is where stars are made. Simple as that, man. No excuses whatsoever, man. So I'm just going to give props to this Rowan squad at the end of the day. I'm not going to come out and say one squad is underperforming. I'm just going to say that Rowan, they're putting a stomping on them right now, and they're having a great day all around. Soapy, Mikey, Sosa, and Jester, they're doing great today, and I just want to see them keep it up at the end of the day and see how they're going to be performing in control. Right now, it looks like every single mode is theirs for the taking.
Yeah, it really, really does seem like every mode is theirs. Control should be a very good mode for them as well, just from the fact that we've seen them look very good in both Hardpoint and in Search and Destroy. And I mean, once that control comes around, the A site is just a very, very tough, or is a very easy site to hit, but the B site is just so hard to be able to wrap over to and get inside of that site that I just don't know if the likes of Cornell have the gunpowder to be even able to break into that site.
Well, hey, listen, we're just going to have to find out if Cornell are going to be coming back in this one pretty soon. I mean, hey, listen, it's going to be Tuscan Control that we're going to be going to next. And, hey, we all know that these squads, they've got a clean slate in control, so they're going to be coming in here today really looking to leave their mark on it. This is where Cornell will hope to turn the series around. I mean, the first respawn, it didn't look all that great for them, and we all know that that live sticker, it can go down very, very quickly. So I mean, unless Val is going to be turning things around in a drastic way, we just got to see exactly what's going to be happening with Cornell in this next map.
Yeah, I could not agree more. I think that Cornell, they have a chance, but I think it's a slim chance here, though. It's really tough. You got a player playing in India. Players that are playing in America just aren't stepping up to the plate right now to help out Thor. He's doing everything he can. This man, he's trying his hardest. It's not a great situation to be in. But Cornell, I mean, they'll give it their all, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah, big time, eh? Well, we're just going to have to wait and see if that'll be the case. We'll be right back with that map number 3 right after this short break. Ladies and gentlemen, don't go anywhere. We'll be back. Hello and welcome back to the CCL Week 3 Day 2. I'm Rome DMV, and joining alongside me is Cruisin', and we have had a swift 2-0 to start this series out.
Oh boy, have we ever. I mean, it's looking like it might just be a swift 3-0 here, unless we see a absolute colossal comeback from Cornell University. The Big Red need to come big in the back half of this series if they want to be able to take this, and you need a full team effort coming out of this team.
Yeah, exactly. You don't really have a choice. It's now or never for this squad. You know, some might say that their season is on the line with this one, with how many matches are left in this one. I mean, you got to be in that top 3, and right now, Cornell, they are on the brink of essentially knocking themselves out of that situation. So I want to see if they're going to be coming in hot, looking to turn this series around right here. We're going to be heading to Tuscan Control, ladies and gentlemen. This one is going to be fun.
Yeah, but let's take a look at our recap from the series just to kind of get up to this point. If you are just joining us, it was a Tuscan hardpoint, 250 to 105 for Rowan Esports. And then, of course, that Berlin S&D that we just finished off with, a 6-2. It's been 2 very, very clean maps, very Slay-heavy oriented maps for Rowan Esports, where they have just taken numbers above and beyond what we thought we could see coming out of this team. And now heading towards Tuscan Control. a map that is so hard to win offenses on because control, the way it works in this game right now, where you're spawning and just where the B point is, alluded to where you spawn on defense for the defenses. Going towards that B side is going to be so tough. You need to make sure not only you get one wipe, but sometimes two wipes and set a player up on that back tank just to be able to set it up and get players ready to get inside of that site. It's just a very, very rough spot to be in for Cornell, and I don't know if they're up to the task in terms of slaying, if I'm being completely honest.
Hey, well, listen, Cornell, they're going to need all the support from their fans for sure. I'm sure that the support in the chat will go a long way, but I want to see, I always like seeing with these matchups which fan base, you know, it shows up more to support their squad. So if you're here supporting Cornell, go ahead and put a C in the chat. If you're here supporting Rowan, go ahead and put an R in the chat. I want to see exactly who is showing up to rep for their squad in the chat because, I mean, hey, home field advantage, I got to be honest, I feel like it matters, man. Some people think it doesn't, but I feel it does, man. Rowan right now, the home squad, and they're showing it, man. 2-0 coming in hot right now.
All I can say is, especially if we were on land right now in a stadium and you had like a full stadium of people cheering you on. I mean, like everybody knows, you hear those "Let's Go Optic" chants in the CDL. That you are shook playing that stuff. So I absolutely agree with you. Home field advantage can be a case, but online, is it really that serious right here? It's a little bit different for sure. But you know what, Rowan's definitely feeling. They're the home team. They want to come out. They want to celebrate here in front of their home fans. I absolutely agree with you. You know they got people watching here on the Bravo stream. Bravo stream equals best stream. Just know it there.
Oh, yeah, for sure, man. And it is going to be Rowan Esports on the offensive side. The big question is, will they be able to upset this Cornell squad? Because we all know Control, it's usually defensive-sided. But, I mean, I got to be honest, from what I've seen some teams be able to find a lot of success on this offensive end as well.
You absolutely can find success here on this site, but especially on offense, it just comes down to your slaying.
Oh my!
And I mean, with a 4-0 lead off the bat in terms of slaying, and nobody on the likes of Cornell even being able to get close to this hill. Yeah, this is not looking like a good one right now.
That was the quickest cap, and they still don't have a kill on the board.
They have not
Cornell.
died.
Finally,
okay, there we go.
There they go. They are on the board. They have life, ladies and gentlemen, but that life is going to be ended quickly as Mikey is going to be taking them out, and they are almost a third of the way done with B already, and they still got 2 minutes remaining as Mikey buff. He's got the support in the chat, and he's got the support behind his gunny because, man, this kid is taking over right now as finally Cornell are going to be able to clear them out for now, but this relentless push coming in from Rowan is just nonstop.
Love this play from Jester in the back, too. He just sits back here, and he has never left that spot yet. He has been a thorn in the side of Cornell throughout this entire game so far. Thor's coming out, trying to get some kills off spawn, but everybody's going down through the opposite side of the map. He can't even... He's getting the worst timings. He can't find anybody.
Precisely, but he is able to pick up Jester there. Will he be able to get back in time to help defend? That's going to be 2 dropping on the side of Rowan. So, hey, a little bit of a reset as now they got 1:30 left, and maybe this is where Cornell might be able to have a nice stand. We got to see how the break of Rowan is going to be able to come in, though, as all the players on that squad are still positive, but you can see players 1, 3, and 4. They are hitting a triple flank to the backside, and I don't know if Val, the lone player on 350 ping, is going to be ready. No, he's going to get taken out. This player number 6 in pain, he's going to get taken out as well. A perfect pinch executed by Rowan Esports. That's going to be 3 dropping. They're going to start to get this control as they're about to hit that 3rd wave marker right now. Oh my goodness, Soapy going massive as well on this hill, looking to fry everything he sees. They're a third of the way done with the progression now.
And Cornell, I mean, they're doing a great job now of kind of limitizing the fact that Rowan can't get inside of the hill. They're really shutting down this push. I think the big issue for them now is you only have 8 lives left and 50 seconds left on the hill. Realistically, if Rowan can just get a player on the hill, stop the clock, at this point, it's just TDM. You just need to kill the players from this point on, get everybody out, finish off the rest of the kill feed, and honestly walk away with this game. Thor's going to continue to try to be a thorn in the side of Rowan, running around rampant in their spawns, but it's just not going to be enough. With 30 seconds left, 5 lives to 15. Unless they get a hold here and they get a complete wipe, it's going to be very, very tough for Cornell to be able to win this round.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like that's going to be the case as they are going to be able to drop a couple. Only 1 life remaining. That is going to be Thor, and they're going to start to capture this one. 20 seconds now as it's going to be all up to Thor, and he gets taken out, and that means Rowan, they're going to be able to find the early advantage. 1-0 right now, and that was an offensive round. That could be massive.
Yeah, it really could be. Usually, you got to think if you win one offensive round inside of control with how defensive heavy they are in this game, like you should be good for the rest of the series, for the rest of the map at least, to be able to take it. But you know what? You never know. We might get surprised here from Cornell, but I just have a very, very bad feeling that Rowan Esports, with how hard their slaying has been throughout today, that this could get really, really bad here for Cornell. But you know what? They're going to throw a different strat to the win here. They're going to head all 4 players over towards this B site. They should have the numbers off the rip here. It just does not matter, though, when Soapy's dropping 3 pieces like this to start the round off and completely wipe that team off the hill.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't already want to say it, but I mean, hey, anytime that you're going to be going to the non-favored point off the rip, you've got to be able to make it worth it, and or else you're going to be facing the clock already, and that's the situation that they find themselves in right now. Is Cornell are able to find a few kills on the board, but that's going to be answered right back by Rowan. 3 in the kill feed coming in from them as they are trying to clear this one out. A is starting to go over toward this Cornell squad. This is going to be Rowan coming in, trying to stop this pressure as they're going to be able to pick up 2, make it 3. That's going to be a 4th drop in as well, and they're going to be able to get A, and this one's going to be reverted right back as they couldn't get the progression. 45 seconds remaining.
And this is where things get really scary, because now everybody in Cornell, they're going to be spawning up in the exact same spot as each other. It looks like we're going to see a hit coming over towards this A site. So the spawn trap isn't going to come into full effect yet. It wasn't properly read here from the likes of Rowan, but with this pinch developing, they can still find all 4 of these players on this A site.
Jester right now, 8-5 to his name, trying to lock this one down. It looks like Cornell, they are going to be able to have success at this A point, at least for now, as they are able to make the entire kill feed white. This is going to be Jester, who is going to be trying to go massive at A. Just hold them off as long as possible. He finally is going to get taken out, but now it's going to be Mikey's turn to go in there and wreak some havoc, but he gets taken out as well by Thor, and now it's going to be A secured. Extra time added. Let's head over to B.
Love to see that. Thor popping a huge 3-piece there at the very end to be able to secure that. Not only a 3-piece, that gives him 7 in a row. He finds full streaks, and streaks could be massive towards trying to break in towards this next hill. I expect to see him come off spawn, sit inside of the command center, probably drop a streak in, and hope that his teammates who are around can find and pick up those kills as he drops these streaks.
Yeah, can we talk about Soapy for a second? The kid is 19-7. Like, what a performance coming
Just
out of him
casual,
so far.
19-7 as well.
Yeah, exactly. You know, not really, you know, too flashy with it, nothing too crazy, but just solid play all around by Soapy, and that's what you love to see, just a player staying grounded, staying together, as that's going to be a big kill coming in from Soapy yet again onto Payne as they get 4 down, 50 seconds remaining for this Cornell squad, and as you said, it's a game of TDM. These are their last 4 lives, ladies and gentlemen. This squad in Rowan, they're about to be going up 2-0.
Yeah, it's really looking like that. Only one player left in Lonely Doc. He'll fall on the top of that window, and it is just Rowan Esports Day right now. Cornell, they just don't have the gunfire to be able to contest with this team. Thor, again, finding full streaks throughout this game. It's just not enough. You need somebody to step up to the plate for Cornell. Payne, Lonely Doc, Val, somebody needs to step up to the plate, start playing in the same level as Thor. And this game could be a lot closer. But unfortunately, the man is just all by himself at the moment.
Ooh.
And it is just not looking the greatest here for this squad.
Rowan look like they're going to flex their muscles and show them how B is done. As you can see, 3 players, they're going to be coming over here, and they are not going to be met with much aggression. Jester, he's able to take out Val. The next closest player is going to be Lonely. He drops as well. Are they going to be going at B and being successful off the rip? Is not one kill has come in from the side of Cornell yet. They've got the spawns locked down. Jester's going to be pressing the issue in the back. He finally does get dropped by Val. Thor's going to be calling in his streak. I was very surprised that they were able to get a streak. Not exactly sure when Thor was able to pick that up, but props to him because that could be massive to be able to stop this. But they already got 1 tick of progression at B, and that's going to make A a whole lot easier to convert over toward the side of Rowan.
Yeah, Thor was able to grab that streak in the last round when they won. When they were able to get the A side, he went on a little bit of a 7 spree through the middle of that round. But yeah, they get that first take over at A, over at B, which is huge because now Rowan Esports. I mean, everybody just comes off spawn. We rotate over. We hit into this A site. Now this should be an easy cleanup over here, and then just the rotation over to B. Now you got 1 less tick of progress that you need to find over at that site. The life's still fairly even here. You still do have 1 streak as well on the likes of Thor. He used the last streak to great effect to shut down the push over here the last time. If he can find a way to do it again here, and that's a 4 down now here for Cornell. So now life's actually in their favor. This has got to be their best chance of being able to win a round.
Oh, precisely. But the thing is that they've got a whole minute and 50 to work with here for the other side of Rowan. So it's really just going to be about finding one coordinated break. And if we've seen anything in the past, is they know how to coordinate breaks. They're doing the exact same play. They're sending 3 players around the backside. This time, though, they're going to be met with death as Lonely Doc. He's going to be able to take out Mikey and Jester. Thor's able to pick up another kill on his side. And yet again, this squad, they are going to be set up perfectly to hold this one out for a second push. But they've essentially got to hold off 3 more pushes coming in from this Rowan squad.
Yeah, it's going to be a hard push to make. And again, Rowan, like you called out before, making that big hit through the back. This is how they like to break that site. Jester, Lonely, they're able to completely overwhelm the 2 players in the back here. Lonely Doc and Thor fall. Sosa makes a hit from the front. It's a perfect pitch developing here from Rowan Esports. This should allow them to get onto the hill. This should be a break-in.
Precisely, unless Big Val got something to say about it, as he's going to be the only player. No, he gets dropped as well, and this should be the second tick of progression coming in right now for Rowan. There it is. It's official. They've got a minute 10 left to get this one in. You see Thor, he took out a teammate and the enemy with that kill streak, and I mean, that's exactly what we're talking about. A kill streak.
It's still kind of worked to effect, though. You got them off the hill at the very least, but yeah. To stop this overwhelming amount of aggression coming in from Rowan at this point of the game, it's going to be tough. They need half a tick of progress left on this hill. You've only got 4 lives remaining. Cornell, it's a big stand, and it's now or never. You're getting 3 out here in this game.
Yeah, Sosa there was able to go massive. He's on 2. Jester's on 2 as well. And they're going to be looking to add to more as Jester's going to make it 4 as he's looking to get streaked out yet again. Last player alive is going to be Lonely, and Rowan Esports have had an official 3-0. What a masterclass of a performance coming in from them today.
Yeah, it's so clean. I mean, the hard points, every single hard point, the rotations were on point. They were able to outslay significantly in that game. The S&D, same thing. I mean, they took control. It was a 4-0 lead off the rip, and then, you know what, you saw a little bit of life come out of Cornell, but it just got closed out pretty quickly from Rowan. And then even in that game, there's flashes. There's flashes for Cornell here in the game where they look so good and they look like they have a chance to be able to win. Thor, I think, found streaks in every single map that we had. I just think the man needs some help here in this game, and nobody on this team is stepping up to the plate at the moment.
Yeah, definitely want to see them step it up in the future for sure in these respawn modes. And I mean, honestly, they're search and destroys as well. You just got to see Thor get a little bit more help, but props to him. He put on a great performance today. Most kills in the game for the map, so salute to him for sure. But I mean, props to Rowan at the end of the day. Their teamwork was there, the coordination, the way they wanted to keep on breaking that B point. It was flawless every single time. And I mean, Rowan, really, this is just the tip of the iceberg for them and what we can expect of them for the rest of this season. I think that the future is extremely bright for this squad.
And I think another big thing with Rowan and the reason why they were able to win so well here in this one, Rome, is they just look like they had such a well-rounded effort from every single one of their players. You didn't have one player necessarily popping off, being the most flashiest player. Yes, Soapy had a very good final map there, going 23 and 13, but I mean, look at the rest of the team. You had Mikey step up 22 and 14, Sosa's 20 and 15, Jester 24 and 22, or sorry, 24 and 12. Apparently, I can't read simple numbers in front of me, but it is a crazy, crazy good job by this team just to play so evenly throughout each other. It's so hard to be able to break that. And if this team's able to keep this up, I mean, I was talking to one of the players before. I was talking to Mikey, and he alluded to me that they didn't have a ton of confidence going into that first matchup when they went up against Rutgers. They didn't have a ton of teamwork and coordination. Well, the teamwork and coordination, it's getting there. And what he said to me was that he said that if they were to play them again now, he thinks it would be a much closer matchup. And honestly, after watching this match, I honestly agree with that. I think that this team could really take it to Rutgers again if we see that matchup come up again down the line here in CCL.
Oh, for sure. For this squad, it's just going to be all about building that chemistry together and keeping that progression going. You know, anytime you see your squad slowly improving and you're sitting at a 4-1 record now in the CCL, that's just going to be absolutely incredible for your squad. Let's go ahead and check out the maps overall from this series. Yes, it was a hot 3-0, not just in the control, but in the series as well, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, this squad in Rowan, they just were doing it all.
I mean, that might have been one of the fastest series we've had here on the Bravo channel this season. I don't know, Ron. This is definitely the fastest series. I think this is the only 3-0 I've actually casted all year so far in CCL. So, I mean, it was definitely a quick one, but you can see it here. I mean, Rowan, a very dominant map, number one. Map number two, you gave up 2 rounds in the middle, but you have 4-0 lead. You weren't losing that one. And then they never looked out of control in that Tuscan. Maybe that last round got a little shaky here and there on a couple of those pushes, but maybe they were just trying to do some other different pushes as well, just to try to learn a couple of things about their team. Because, I mean, at that point, with the way that they were playing against Cornell, you got to imagine they were probably just like, hey, let's throw anything at these guys. We could probably take this map off of them. And it really did seem so at the very end of it. A very well-rounded effort from Rowan Esports, able to take and able to close the series out.
Oh, for sure. And I'm excited at what they're going to be able to do on Control in the future as well. First time we got to see them on that mode, and they looked absolutely flawless. So big props to this Rowan squad. Yet again, man, just an absolute masterclass from them from top to bottom. I mean, hey, the series was so short. I mean, we could sit here and talk about it all day. I mean, us talking about it is probably longer than that map number 3 just was. So, I mean, hey, props to this squad, real talk, because they
Rowan, you don't got to do them like that, man.
Show. I mean, hey, you know, facts are facts. It is what it is, man. It was a quick series, you know. Things definitely happen for sure. But hey, listen, man, I know that the next series, it's most likely going to be a lot closer. We're going to be having on Bravo. It's going to be the University of South Florida going up against the University of Central Florida. So definitely a little bit of a rivalry right there that you guys are going to be able to look out for. And casting that one, it is going to be Susano and Cash coming in for that one. So, hey, listen, we'll be going to a short break before we get to that match, and we'll let you guys go ahead and tune into Alpha until we get there. We'll be back after this short break.